Hello and welcome back to the Andy Show. It is another week, and it's also the day after Joseph's birthday.
That is true.
I want to kick off today's show talking about the greatest of all births, the Joseph L. Flanders birthday treat-abration.
Yes.
What did you do for your birthday?
Your middle name is Lalariance.
I was going to ask what my middle name is. I was going to say Leon, but Lalariance.
Lalariance Flanders.
Yes.
I thought it was Laquariance.
Laquariance?
So what did you do for your birth?
To celebrate my birth, we did a bottomless mimosa brunch.
Okay.
Which was quite nice. We did this at downtown Disney, because what would a celebration be without?
Because it was nice and hot out again.
Yeah.
I know exactly one person who has gotten drunk multiple times at Disney, and that is you, Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
Did you make contact with the lovely medical staff this time?
No. So we weren't actually in the park. Downtown Disney is like a whole other area
it's
where
like
you don't have
City
to be a
Walk.
member. Yeah, it's like City Walk.
Okay.
The reason we did it there is because they also have a Star Wars VR thing. They also have it at the Glendale Galleria. I can't remember the company name, but it's like a 12-minute like total VR experience that I would not have normally done. But given that it was my birthday, it was a good excuse to do something kind of dumb. And,
It sounded amazing. You told me about it earlier. For years, you've been telling me, Pat, about the Batman VR experience.
Which is a good introduction to VR.
Yeah,
but it's not the
I
most
would love to do
exciting
it.
game. It's really cool.
very
though.
tedious and cool.
Okay.
But you feel like you're in a different world.
I will continue to say that I want to do it.
Let's do.
and
Yeah,
maybe never.
So
will.
easy, so
Yeah.
easy to do, and it exists in a room that's already wired for recording and broadcasting.
That's true.
Well, perhaps
Maybe
we
we
can
can
do
do
an
an
episode of Tandy Show while I'm being virtually Batman.
Yes.
Indeed.
So we did that, and then went to a museum, saw a Muppet exhibit.
You did?
I've been wanting to do that for a while.
Okay.
So saw the original Kermit the Frog. Bert and Ernie were there.
Now, when you
Beaker.
say you saw the original Kermit the Frog,
Yes.
do you mean the first puppet or
Yes.
just like a good take on the original?
The original puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like there's the original Saltines, but those aren't the first
The
ones.
first ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
All
it
right.
was in both ways the original.
What kind of shape was the puppet in?
Not great.
Not great.
Because these things were just
65
made of like
years old.
felt. Yeah. Great time. Unfortunately,
Was it? Would you say it made for a bad story, or is that what we're getting? For
Well,
my
a
new
frustrating-
sister podcast to your show, Good Times, Bad Stories. Your
That's
your show is called Bad Times, Good Stories.
Yes.
You can listen now, by the
Yes.
way, listeners.
Yes.
I'm going to do a sister show, which we discussed beforehand,
Yes.
which is Good Times, Bad Stories.
Right. Can you give an example?
An example of this would be, I thought that my shoe might not fit, and then it totally did. And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah,
So,
right.
they're things that are good times to have.
Yeah.
Uh,
That are bad stories.
bad doesn't make for a good story.
Yeah.
It could use elaboration.
So, in celebration
But that would make it a better
of
story.
Joe's birthday, Pat, you and I shot a music video this week in order to adequately celebrate the birth.
Could I finish though?
No.
Yeah, happy birthday!
No.
Shut
No,
up.
we're moving on from your birthday. You already had
Yesterday was my day.
going on 20 minutes now already a birthday conversation.
I was only going to say that once again, I had to deal with people taking photos of everything at the museum.
Even of
instead
you.
of just of everything.
Once again, I
Yep.
had to have
all the photos.
of everything.
Everything.
It's like the Patrick Stewart in Extras.
Yes.
But I had already seen everything. That's
Exactly.
Yeah. They were taking pictures of everything.
But people taking pictures of just the the little plaques on the wall that
Yeah.
explain what the picture is.
Yeah.
Taking photos that no one looks at anything.
Yeah.
They just basically paid
They look
to
through their
then
phone.
watch the museum on their phone later.
Well, in the distant future, when that museum no longer exists, somebody needs to have that on record, and they're going to come forward and say, "I properly documented everything there, thanks to me."
Yes, it's the digital
Right, for doing
record,
that.
Joe. These people have been commissioned by the government to get it together and to have an official digital record of the felt puppets.
Because obviously the museum will burn everything
It's not like the point of
Oh,
a
you don't
museum.
know about this?
No.
There's a standing rule that after 100 years, a museum has to burn everything down to the ground.
It is not their job to preserve this information for the future.
It came about in a different era when things didn't last quite as long. There weren't preservatives.
Yeah.
No preservatives.
And so they said,
Yeah.
look, we don't want a bunch of old shit hanging around that's getting all deteriorated.
What
100
what
years,
is
burn
this
it down.
organization supposed to be doing?
So if you're interested in seeing any kind of relics from this decade, you've only got, in some instances, 10, 15 years left.
Right, before they burn it up.
Or you could find a dutiful tourist who's documented
A beautiful tourist.
dutiful.
All right.
with a B.
Okay. We could find us a beautiful tourist.
Who took a bunch of out of focus shots because they were running around like they were on a fucking
On a foggy
shot
cell
clock.
phone camera.
Yeah.
Finger over it.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So anyway, that was the struggle of the day.
Yeah.
So overall, it was a pretty good day.
So there's been an effort recently, and this kind of ties into the video a little bit, and it also ties into your story, where people have loved to bring back the look of the the analog camera, the film camera,
Yes.
the Polaroid camera, the VHS thing. I'm a big proponent of it. I love it. I grew up with it, so there's a nostalgic element. But I have tried to take it upon myself to make it really realistic, which is, if you remember correctly, anytime any of us were at any kind of function, and 9 times out of 10 you hand the camera to, say, your mom or someone else, there is a huge likelihood that you get those pictures back, and there is a thumb over
Yes.
the camera.
Yep.
So I try my best when using those cameras.
Disposable cameras.
Yeah, when using the apps, I like to put my thumb right over the cell phone to remind people, look, if you want nostalgia, we're going all the way.
Yeah, exactly.
And
You want a picture of me
Yeah.
at the 1987 Minnesota Twins World Series game?
there's going to be a thumb in the
There
corner.
it is.
Yeah,
There it is.
and
That's
it's
the
going
whole
to take.
shot.
I'm not going to let you see these for 2 days.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
then you're going to get 2 of
Your
all of these
anticipation
photos.
is going to build.
Yeah.
And then if we're going nostalgia, you also have to work in the disappointment that would inevitably come with any time you get photos.
And
developed.
the innate feeling that someone else is just looking at your pictures
Yes.
while they're putting them
You
together.
could be
for you.
given
Yeah.
somebody else's pictures entirely when you pick yours up.
Yeah.
That is always a
So these are all
possibility.
things that I think we should probably implement into this new genre of photo taking.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
to really, if we're going to do it, bring it all the way home.
I totally agree.
I found a roll of film at the beach like 15 years ago, and I still haven't developed it. I just found it. It could be anything.
It's amazing. It's as if you are in my mind in terms of segueing into the next thing. Because I did a photo shoot at the beach.
Quite recently.
Yeah, this
Not
week.
15 years ago.
No, this week I did a photo shoot at the beach. It was fantastic. It was for an Italian high fashion magazine. I don't know what I'm allowed to say yet, but I did a spread, and it's great. And I got to wear really cool clothes and really crazy, awesome designer clothes and everything.
Yeah.
But the thing was that the look of the shoot, they wanted it on the beach in Venice.
On the sand.
Yeah, so I am standing in clothes that are significantly more expensive than the average clothes, and I am meant to stand right at the water line but not let the water touch me lest the very expensive clothes get ruined. And of course there is a tide
And
that
that's
is
not- that can't be
unpredictable.
your fault.
Yes. So of course I did not get blamed, but as soon as I stood down by the where the water line was,
Yeah.
huge tide comes in. All of this stuff is just caked in just the
Yeah.
faces of these
But that's
people
kind
that-
of a cool photo to take like a $10,000 suit and like
Yeah.
trash it in the ocean.
Well, so then
Take a picture of it. That's awesome.
what happened is they wound up leaning into it. They said,
Yeah.
well, everything's covered in sand
Yeah.
and shit. So I wound up doing a whole photo shoot just basically in the ocean in all
Yeah.
these crazy clothes. And what was fun about it for me was doing these photos, getting to wear these crazy things, having a great experience. Everyone I worked with was really nice.
Yeah.
What was less fun, and not necessarily upsetting, but more just bizarre, was that Venice is obviously a very tourist-oriented beach. And 90% of the people that are on the beach directly in front of me, who are 5 feet away enjoying their vacation, are interested in taking selfies with the model in the background.
They're looking for things like that going on that they can
Right.
see. On
Now,
the
what they don't understand is that I am not really a model per se, and that what's funny is that I'm not particularly famous.
You're not a model, and your name is not Percy.
Right. But I'm not particularly famous, but I certainly have my audience, and none of these people are aware of that, and I found it kind of amusing.
So they
that
thought you were-
They're taking selfies with me as like some model guy, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking they have no clue that I am a musician or
You're
that
like,
I have
this
any
is
kind
a
of
one-time thing.
Yeah. This is So I mean, I'm not trying to say like they didn't know how famous I was. I just think it's
Just to
always
know why
funny
you were
when
there.
normally I've never experienced that before. When
Yeah.
someone wants to take a picture with me, it's because of me being somebody that they recognize or whatever else. To just have people take selfies because I'm an LA tourist thing was
And
very interesting.
Nothing draws a crowd like a crowd.
Yeah.
So
and a
people
guy
do
in a
that.
very
They
expensive
hire
suit
5
laying in the
photographers.
ocean will also draw a
Not
crowd.
something you see every day.
No,
in Venice.
a tremendous number of people vaping on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, just about everybody.
It's a great place to relax and have a good vape.
Go out and have a vape on the
bad.
beach.
It's their new motto. They're
Yeah.
no longer Muscle Beach. They're Vape Beach.
So yeah, that was an enjoyable experience. And then the following day, we did the new My Way video shoot.
Yeah.
Which we'll be finishing up the edit for probably
today.
Yeah. So by the time people are seeing this or listening to this, they may
should be
have
out.
they may have seen the video. So that was a lot of fun. We obviously brought in a lot of other people. We had fans come in, and that was a lot of fun.
I got some emails afterwards.
Oh, yeah?
People saying how excited they were.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were great. I will say that a huge amount of credit is owed to what I've been teasing her as the dance mom, which was Julia during the shoot.
Keeping people motivated.
Yeah, because we wanted people to dance around and have fun, and I am not the best at saying, let's all have a dance party.
Sure.
I tend to kind of hide all the time. So when people are doing their takes, I'm watching the monitor, and I'm kind of sitting, and obviously I'm appreciative they're there, but I'm watching the monitor. Julia took it upon herself to help out, and I'm so pleased, and also teased her incessantly because I called her dance mom, because she was like, she was getting the best out of these people. She'd get up and dance around and, wiggle around and say, do stuff like this. And then they, who were looking very introverted, suddenly would come out of their shell. And
It's
it was
hard
fun.
for people to feel comfortable when they walk into a room full of strangers, and they don't do that all the time.
Yeah, particularly since we didn't give them any information.
Yeah. And then they can't really see what's going on because there's lights between their face and our faces, and they're pointed at them. So they just feel like they're on a microscope, and people are watching their dance moves.
Yeah, and there was a fair number of people who there was the first several minutes were just
Waiting.
like freaked out that they were going to be in a video, then excited to meet someone from a musician that they like and know, and then to be told that they're going to be the ones performing by themselves in the video.
Right,
like
yeah,
there was a
dance.
whole wave of emotions that went
Right.
through everybody. But it was really great, and we got people would walk in and you wouldn't necessarily know what they were going to be doing, and every performance was vastly different, and that was really exciting. We didn't get a lot of people doing the same kind of things. Everyone's interpretation was different, and I think it's made for certainly the most fun video. It's not all eyebrow and scowl. It's a lot more
little
fun.
Scowl. And there's some blood.
There's
blood.
some accidental blood.
Accidental blood.
I smashed my mouth on the microphone during one of
Oh,
the takes, and so my mouth started bleeding. So we've kept some of that in
Some
there
of it.
because it looked cool. I mean, great,
Yeah.
great
It
free
looked like
production
something
effects.
that you would want to fake. By the time the take was over, it looked like something that would have been intentional.
Yeah.
But then you were just like,
Yeah, it was just my lips.
And this is a cover of Usher's "My Way," right?
Yes, this is a kosher.
it's a kosher.
It's kosher.
It's a kosher version
Yeah,
of
it's-
Usher's
It's the
"My Way."
Kesha
It's
version.
the Kesha remix of
Usher's-
Kosher's Kirshner.
Dave Kirshner.
Yeah,
David
Dave Kettner.
Keckner.
Dave Kirshner, I believe, is a guitar player as well. So there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
No, it is, and this is actually, it's good that you brought this up because this is caused a lot of confusion. I was unaware of how many people did not know about the Sid Vicious version, and when I announced that I was doing this song, I assumed, based on the visual and all the art and context clues and me literally saying that it was inspired by Sid Vicious's version, that people would understand that. And then I would see people saying things like, well, I don't know if you have the voice for that. And I was thinking, you don't think I have the voice for that? Like, have you heard what that is?
Yes.
Right. It's just a drunk guy
You mean
mumbling.
Sid Vicious, the angel from heaven?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I just, I was, I mean, there's some people who, when the song came out, it cleared it up for them. And many people now are going, how dare you do that to a Frank Sinatra song? Like, no one covers Frank Sinatra. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
well,
Somebody took it upon themselves to inform me that it was a cover and not actually your song.
Right.
And
it is certainly one of the most
very
iconic,
grateful.
a song. And I believe from what I've had, and I was unaware of this, because again, not everyone knows everything. I was unaware that it is Sinatra's version is a cover of the original French version.
Oh,
It was a
very
French
nice.
song initially.
Wow.
It has
translated.
It has a very French sort of tone to it.
Yeah,
I
so that we are many covers removed from the original.
Yeah.
But I think that people associate it so much with Sinatra, and I obviously we put an homage to the Sinatra version in there. The intro of the song is meant to sound like that, but my version was meant to kind of elicit more of the punk rock response, and now people are up in arms about that. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Can't please everybody.
But in keeping with your third cover of a French original, you will be doing Lady Marmalade
Yes,
for the holidays.
I'll be doing the Frank Sinatra version. Yeah.
Well, I think it's cool you did it. What was the motivation to do it? Did you just put it out as like a single?
Honestly, it was we just recorded it maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We did the photo shoot for AP, and I had this idea to kind of do an homage to my punk rock heroes growing up. And when we started, I think we got back from the shoot that day, and Blasco and I started talking and saying, wow, that'd be cool if we did that. And literally by the next Monday, we were in the studio doing it. And it was a quick turnaround because we kind of knew exactly what we wanted. It's a very short song.
Yeah.
And it was meant to be not necessarily bare bones, but straightforward. There's not a tremendous amount of production on it intentionally. You know,
Right.
it's not supposed to be a large-scale song. But, it's difficult to do things because the way that the world is now, people assume that now that's the first single from my new album and everything. So it's, you can't clear it up to everybody. I'm proud of the song. It is not the first single from the new record. It has nothing to do with the new record, but the video I think people will like, and we're proud of it. Have you guys ever had cavities?
I've only had one, and that was 3 years ago.
Okay.
I have never had one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you realize that you are in a rare
Yes.
situation.
Yeah.
I too have never had a cavity until I now have a cavity.
Could I make one small caveat before we hear?
Yes.
I haven't been to the dentist in like 4 years.
So you
it's
might-
possible
you
I
might be
have one
riddled
now.
with cavities.
I could have 8 right now.
Yeah.
I've never been aware of a cavity.
Yeah. So you just found out.
I that's the thing is that I hadn't been to the dentist in a little bit of time because my dentist that I went to as a kid was no longer practicing.
Dr. Crentist.
Yeah, Dr. Crentist in Carbondale, I believe is where. Yeah.
The friendly dentist.
Yeah. So I went to wonderful dentist office, and it's Juliet has had a root canal recently, and so I've watched her get work done on her teeth, and I've now been faced with the dilemma that I have my first cavity, and so I suppose the questions that I was asking must sound like I'm an idiot because most people have had cavities, and I'm asking about all the specificity of what the procedure is, how long it takes, everything like that. So tomorrow I will be going to get my first ever, whatever you call it, cavity fix. Fill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot different currently than it used to be. They used to fill your teeth with metal
Yeah.
and all kinds of things. And now they have...
How long ago was that they were
like
filling
maybe,
people's teeth with metal?
maybe 15, 20 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you get silver.
You've never had a cavity.
You could get...
What are you doing? You just said you've never had a cavity.
People would get gold and silver put in their tooth.
Yeah.
You know, not a grill, but like that would be the filling material.
I would do that. I'd go full grill. They say you don't have any
But
cavities.
it's so much
do
easier
it anyway.
than that now. They just it's like a synthetic porcelain.
Yeah,
stuff.
I saw what they do because I remember also I've seen like the almost black stuff that they used to do too. Now they do like a white.
How are you feeling about it?
I don't actually know. You know, the only real dental work I've had done was when I was young. It seemed like I had dental work every week. I have a significant overbite, and so that they tried to correct that when I was a kid, and that didn't really take. I had to wear one of those on top of the mouth stretcher things for like a year, and then I had a crazy ass not dentist. What's the other
Orthodontist?
Orthodontist who shaved my teeth into the shape that they're in for no reason. I wasn't supposed to have like fangs. Like the pointy teeth that I have on either side, those came from that doctor. He was kind of very aggressive and a little bit of a lunatic. But
experimental.
but my dentist growing up, was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I've realized
Dr. Krentis?
that. Yeah, Krentis. No, his name was Dr. Smith, I think. And I also realized that I never saw his face. He was my dentist from the time
And
I
he
was always from the time I was 3 years old to about 20.
The hair thing.
He had wonderfully coiffed hair and always a mask, and he was very tan and I think handsome, but I'm not. I have no evidence.
For all you know, it was Wilson from Home Improvement.
So I thought about it. He could live across the street from me, and I'd have no idea. I'd have to go wait a second and hold
Hiding
up
in
a
plain
picture
sight.
Yeah.
of a mask in front of him.
Show me those eyes.
But yeah, you got to think. I mean, nearly 20 years of being my dentist, I never saw his face. It's just
That's
just
amazing.
very tan, handsome eyes and a coif.
Did he provide prizes for you upon being done with your cleaning?
No.
Oh, my childhood dentist.
What, like
had
candy?
drawers?
Yeah.
Yeah, that you'd get like the slappy hand thing, you know?
I would get like a
Or
toothbrush.
kazoos.
Yeah, no, they didn't do that. But I loved the dentist office that I had growing up. So because of that positive experience, I never had like the scared of the dentist thing.
Sure.
I have the false tooth. This tooth is a veneer or whatever you call it, because I broke my tooth when I was a kid, and so they fashioned it back on. And this dentist has said that maybe they're going to shave it down to match the length of the other tooth. And I'm getting back and forth on that. Juliet thinks I should leave it the way it is because she loves my face the way it is and whatever, but also understands if I want to change it. My mom is exactly the same way. I've been asking people in my life.
Yeah.
And I think for now I'm going to leave it the way it is.
I think that's the right move.
Yeah, because you can never get too far down the road of mouth modification if you don't really take the first step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a big mouth mod. So,
Sounds like a sweet show on
Mouth
the
mod.
History
Mouth
Channel.
mod.
Yeah.
On
Mouth
TLC.
mods.
On TLC. The Learning Channel is where you would
They'll
yeah.
put anything.
I
on
was
TV.
thinking it would be on Spike or something,
Do they
Mouth
exist
mods.
anymore? I think Spike is over.
Well, I'm
Are they
gonna
the Paramount Network now?
Who knows?
I'm gonna resurrect it just to put mouth mods on there.
Run it nonstop.
It's a show like a Ripley's Believe It or Not, but it's all just like people doing shit to their teeth.
Yeah,
like,
spinners and LEDs
hanging
and
from their teeth. And,
Mouth Mod and
monitors.
Campus PD.
And like
Did you
some-
ever watch that one?
some awesome
Campus
subwoofers.
PD.
Yeah.
Mouth mod. So I can't get anything else in my head.
Campus PD.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Is that's
really
a
bad.
watcher?
So I realized yesterday that the horn in my car has now ceased to work, and I have to get that fixed this week.
Your car horn. For whatever reason in my head.
I thought you had a trombone in the back seat.
Yeah, I have a
a giant, like, dragon horn.
flute
My-
in my car.
goddamn oboe
Yeah.
in the back seat. It's just
So I was in a parking lot and
Yeah.
I was driving. There's everyone understands that the giant arrow and the way that the cars are parked indicates which way you drive down, right?
Yes.
Like their cars are going this way, so you drive that way. The cars are going that way, so you drive that way. There's always the one-way situation. There was a person in a car who literally was going the wrong way, but also but looking for parking spots and driving
the wrong way.
5 miles an hour towards me. But
Not
there's
looking at
people
you.
behind me. It's a busy parking lot,
Yeah.
and I am laying on the horn, and nothing is happening. So now Juliet and I are rolling down yelling, "Stop it! Stop it!" While this person is slowly it would have been the slowest accident of all time, and she gets so close to almost, and then finally stops and is shocked that she is inches away from the car, but we're yelling, "Stop it! Stop driving towards us!" And I'm laying on and there's no sound coming out. We're going, "God damn it! Stop it!"
Wow.
Yeah.
And but they didn't.
Did
hit
they
you.
stop?
She did stop. So
Okay, good.
there was no slow roll accident. But it did amuse me the rest of the day thinking about the most avoidable accident.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just honk your horn? I can't.
Couldn't.
Yeah.
It's done.
And then we were leaving that parking lot, and we were at the stoplight, and there's a young couple in the car next to us, probably the distance from you to me right now, maybe foot and a half, very close. Where it's the passenger and the driver. We're close enough that maybe a little bit farther away. But yeah. But so there's a young lady in the passenger seat. She looks over at me and does like a double take, and then gets her boyfriend, and she said, I can see her mouth. I think that's Andy. And then they both look at me, and I'm now thinking, well, there's some fans, and so I kind of get a little bit puffed up, like, oh, hello, and they both go. And this, by the way, for the
Nice.
listener, is just a completely shaking the head, you're a loser.
Yeah.
Like, they were saying, look, there's Andy. look at that fucking loser.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hey, look, there's Andy. Let's be mean to him.
yeah, and it took me 5 to 10 minutes to tell Juliet what had happened. I was just in sad silence to myself driving down the street for like a solid 5 minutes. And then I said, there's some people that recognize me.
You're like, some
She's
people
like, oh, okay.
don't like
and
me.
I go,
Very nice.
they didn't like me.
Hey, I got recognized. It was really bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
They knew me because of how much they don't like me.
Not a fan. Not fans.
Non-fans.
Yeah.
So I haven't worn a baseball hat in a long time,
Well, that was a great story.
and I forgot one of the benefits, or one of the disadvantages of wearing a hat is that you have to deal with hat hair,
Yes.
and it was driving me insane. So I went to a Dodger game 2 nights ago,
Yes.
and
You got to wear a
And
hat.
you wore the
And
hat
I wore the
on,
Dodger
on
hat.
the lower part of your face.
yes, yeah,
Your hair. Yeah, you put a rubber band around it and you wore it like a beard hat.
What about the
Yeah.
visor that kind of lets the hair stay natural
visor.
up top?
I don't know what kind of vibes is visor.
They got a
College
sweet
football coach.
guy.
John Gruden.
There's a Guy Fieri visor with his hair on top of the visor, and you put it on, so it's a hat for you, but it looks
I
like
once
you've got
I once put
Fieri
one of those
hair.
on in the early days of Instagram and took a picture with it, and
Yeah.
then my whole follower base lost their mind thinking that I had done that to my hair, and I was like, so I had to post another picture like, guys, it's just a
Yeah,
stupid
you're like,
hat.
greetings from Flavor Town.
So all day yesterday, I was dealing with hat hair. It was a whole 24
It's a
hours
real
later.
battle.
Still dealing with
I
it.
think the
Steel Dylan.
the
Still
fix,
Dylan.
the fix for hat head, and I'm the last one to be an expert on this as I don't have any hair, is to wash your hair and
Yes.
blow dry it.
Yes.
And then no more hat head.
Wow.
Well, I
You
think
don't just
that's-
have to wait it out. For
I
a
think
couple of
I
days.
think
there's things you can do.
I think
I could have bathed.
You know what? Actually, I
could've
would like our audience to do
I don't know,
this.
who's got
Let's
the
do
time?
this. This will be the homework for this week. Please develop a system for Joseph to avoid hat hair.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some online tutorials. Go ahead and write him at the Joe Flanders on Twitter?
Yes.
You can write him there, and our patrons can write us there. Let us know how we can keep Joe's hair.
In ways
Great again.
other than just like the occasional shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got for this week.
I'm good.
Yeah. If you're listening to this show and you'd like to watch it, feel free to go to theandyshow.tv and sign up.
Yeah, and
Watch that.
Yeah.
if you're listening on iTunes, please give us a review, whatever review. you'd
Oh
like
yeah,
to-
we have one review right now,
Yeah.
and it's a great review.
So
And
the
we have-
reviews they help the show
good
get
ratings,
some
too.
visibility. And if you would like to leave us a positive review, that's great. If you'd like to tell us how much we suck, I suppose that's also fine.
Yeah, if you saw Andy in a parking lot recently and want to continue that mission,
If you are any of the people that I've discussed this week and you remember the story differently than I do, that's also
Yeah.
fine. You can write in, I am an unreliable narrator. So feel
Give
free
us
to
a beat-by-beat breakdown of how
write
it
in.
really went
Yeah,
down.
Tell it that's not what happened. Yeah. So anyway, that's it for this week. Joe, what was our catchphrase?
Oh, I already forgot.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Oh, I already forgot. Goodbye.